Hi guys, it's Mark Zicrees, Mr. Sci-Fi. Elaine is here too, so she'll be appearing in frame in a moment. Happy holidays to everyone, and Elaine is just getting on to her
I'm trying. What
thing.
now? I gave him the right.
Did it send you a text? Hmm?
Wait, man.
Hang on a second. Hold on, guys. We're getting things going here. As always, there's always
Have
the
yes to verify
challenge.
it's
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yes to verify it's you.
Yes, I know. So that is what I'm attempting to do, but it's proving very challenging. Okay, let's see. Is it on this? I don't see it here. Maybe it's on my phone. Let me check my phone. Yes, sure. We're trying to get everything up and running. Hi guys. Hello, hello, hello. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. I know a different way to do that. So let me see. YouTube, Facebook. Nope. Okay, challenges. Technical challenges.
Lines were open. iPhone 6. Google sent you a Gmail.
Oh God.
Apple iPhone 6.
Oh.
Open the Gmail.
Here we go. Elaine, I have a suggestion. Why don't you handle Mr. Sci-Fi for now, and I'll get your computer going. Okay? I can absolutely do that.
Can you?
Yeah. So why don't we switch sides? You can talk to Mr. Sci-Fi and say hi and see if they have questions for you or anything, and I will go over here and I will get your computer up and running.
Here's my phone in case you
No. You just put that.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
Now there's the chat. If anyone has questions.
Okay. If anyone has questions, we're just trying to overcome security, which locks me out, but nobody else.
Okay.
So, so we can get into our usual
weekly table.
Yes.
So I'm just keep there we go. It's fine. I'm just starting your computer.
Okay. So Mark will be ready in a moment. It's pouring rain where we are. I don't know how it is where you are. So hopefully it will be better.
Wonderful where you are.
Hopefully it's wonderful where you are. Happy holiday. And let's see if anything's going on.
For some reason it's very slow. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, but see what they're saying and see if they have questions for you. There.
Okay. The password.
Hang on. Wait.
Okay, we have hello all.
Okay.
You are both so beautiful. Oh, how sweet. Okay, happy holidays and thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, from the Gmail app on Apple iPhone, the Gmail. Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, all right.
Talking to them.
Well, okay. Right now we're completely befuddled.
No, I'm not.
But Mark's not befuddled. I'm befuddled. So he's trying to get me into the other computer.
I see the problem.
And we've got our tree up. We have presents, lots of presents under the tree, because we go a little goofy at this time of the year. And it's still pouring rain, and our dogs look beautiful because we took them in for grooming, and they're very pretty right now. But they weren't happy. Yes, right, you guys.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. Just let me sign on. Give me a second. There's Adam. Just keep being smart.
Being smart.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're learning a lot about scheduling and making shot lists in time, rather than having it in our head, so we don't lose the essential close-up. I'd always suggest you make shot lists, so you don't lose the essential close-up and start hitting yourself.
Here we are.
Okay, so are we there? Are we together?
Almost.
Okay, we're
Join
almost
audio.
there.
Join computer audio. And there we are. Hi guys.
Okay, hi guys.
Woo! That was very, very difficult.
Oh, why don't we switch places again?
No, we can do differences.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Yes.
Hello.
So
Happy holidays, everyone.
We're just a little bit late because there's.
They can't hear?
We're just a little bit late.
You can't. Oh no. Okay. Wait, hang on.
Oh, Mark and Elaine are not are muted.
There we go. Hi guys.
There
we go.
Sorry,
okay.
We were just a little bit late because of security, which was blocking us out, but I don't think anybody else.
So security?
Yeah, well,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just let's jump in.
There are new ways to.
Here we go. Hi guys. Okay. So we're doing Mr. Sci-Fi and we're doing the table simulcast as always, as ever.
Yes.
Hi guys. It's great to see everyone. You look very lifelike, Larry, and so forth.
Good
so
to see you again, Larry.
yes.
Yes.
So so I guess we'll start, Larry. Since you're at the top of our screen, why don't you take the first turn? Go for it.
Hello. Yeah, I have a mark right above my right eye. It was I had the second eye of cataract surgery done yesterday.
Wow.
So far, so good.
Great. Congratulations.
So, yeah, it was kind of funny. My eye was painful right after it. It was because I think I had an eyelash in my eye.
Mm-hmm.
And I told the doctor that. And by the end of the day, that was gone. The other funny thing was, it was so early in the morning. My appointment was 6:45 a.m. I had to get up at 4, but I digress. And so I fell asleep on the operating table. The doctor had to wake me up.
Wow.
Oh my God.
In the middle of it. Okay.
Oh.
Next subject. Let's see. Part of the reason I'm here is to plug the short that I'm working on right now. We're supposed to shoot it at Envision It Studios in Burbank. It is run by table member, what's his name? Nick Summers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that runs
Great.
Envision. That's the second time I've been there in the last 5 years. Hoping that goes over. One interesting thing was like this summer maybe I put a table message out about Favorite Son. That's the name of my short. And table member Todd Chamberlain, I think from Canada.
Yes.
He actually, he answered the table message because I said that we were looking for like social media, looking to push that. And he shot back saying, you know, I know about crowdfunding and social media. And at one point, my director, table member Dustin Klingon, the three of us had a conversation about, you know, social media crowdfunding. We're hoping to bring him in at some point. I assume it's okay in the chat area to put suitable links for the short that I'm working on.
Of course.
Like the IMDb, Facebook,
yeah, you bet.
Instagram links.
Sure.
Yeah, it's funny. Favorite Son. I changed computers this summer, and I was going through files, and I found this piece, Favorite Son. What is this? It was a screenplay written by Larry Altmeyer. So I thought that must have been me. So what happened was, I mean, it's an LGBT short thriller. I've done one of those before, Attraction, that, you know, that Dave Edison edited. But for this one, I guess I was looking for a director. Dustin happens to finish things that he starts, which is important in Hollywood, as in around the world. And he suggested that I present it to another screenwriter that I know. His name is Gregory Blair. This is all in the IMDb link that I'll put in the chat area. Gregory is an expert at horror, and he's an actor screenwriter who read it. He trashed it. He just just put it back together, and I said to Gregory, it looks like we have the finished product. And that was it. So we are co-writers, and we've had a cast upset because of a scheduling conflict. What's in the IMDb now is hopefully our final cast, and we hope to shoot about 3.5 weeks from now. Hopefully it'll happen. Hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. Cool. So that's my story for now.
Okay, great. Well, terrific.
Let's hear it for persistence.
Yay! Cheers. Good to see you, Larry. So, so Adam, I saw Adam a moment ago. Now he's in shadow. He's doing a Judith. Is anyone monitoring the Mr. Sci-Fi stuff at this moment? Adam, are you or?
Hello.
I don't know if Adam is. I can't hear you, Adam.
Is that Adam?
Yeah, that's Adam over there. There he is.
Ooh, hello. Whoa,
wow,
scary.
spooky.
Try this. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's better.
Okay.
I don't have all my usual setup because I'm up in Sacramento at my mom's place.
Yeah. Not in civilization. So okay, great.
Yep.
So
in the boondocks where there's no lights.
Yes. You really look like a spooky serial killer. So that might be something that should be the headshot.
Yeah, so if you have some matches or a flashlight when your turn comes up, that would be nice.
Exactly. So should I take the Mr. Sci-Fi questions part, Adam, or
I can still
sure.
give you that.
Okay, great.
First question
Please.
is from Michael Aldridge Greenwell.
Great.
Who wants to know? I'm wondering if there will be any more Star Trek films coming out soon.
There've been a lot of fits and starts, and so I'm not sure. I mean, Quentin Tarantino wrote a script, and I don't know if that's going to get made. Then they've been talking about a lot of different bits and pieces. I have no idea what the status is. I haven't heard anything. There's a lot of Star Trek TV series coming out, but that's about the extent of my knowledge.
Be right back. Our terrier thinks that Mark's jacket is a toy.
Yeah. There we go. So great. So next on my screen is Madam Vice President Janowski, and if you want to take your turn, Bonnie, that'd be great.
Yep. Interim Vice President of Musicians Union Local 47.
Great.
So
Great.
mostly that's occupying my time, although now around the holidays, a little bit of extra time, some other days off. So I'm trying to get some songwriting done and just catch up on a few things, but I'm mostly still concentrating on the vice presidential positions. So,
Great.
Yeah, and actually a song I'd written last year as part of this music library was re-released this year, and but of course mostly concentrating, mostly involved with being union VP.
Wow.
January 24th, I'll find out for sure if
Wow.
that's the election to
Cool.
remain in office for the rest of the term.
Yeah.
But I've been on the board for 19 years, so
Wow.
I always could go back to being on the board, but I'll most likely continue as vice president.
That's
And
exciting.
I'm still enjoying it. Very interesting. Stimulating environment. It's
Great.
all good.
So Bonnie, what's your site?
Holidays all.
If somebody wanted to look up your music, your songs, this and that, what's your site? What's your site?
Bonnie Janowski or BonnieWoodsJanowski.com. I can put that in the chat as well.
Great.
Terrific.
Terrific.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
Okay. Yay. 3 cheers, Bonnie. So is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question, Adam?
Yes. Our next question is from Paul Adler,
Great.
who says, first of all, thank you so much for this stream.
You're welcome.
And second, I would love to hear about your favorite Christmas Twilight Zone episode.
Well, that, of course, would have to be Night of the Meek. I mean, the one with Art Carney as a drunken department store Santa who wants to be the real Santa. It's just a great piece of work. Art Carney's terrific in it. It's one of the 6 episodes that was actually shot on black and white videotape, and for many years you could only see really bad copies of that, grainy kinescope copies. But now they've gone back to the original video masters, and they look spectacular. It's a very different look from the filmed Twilight Zone episodes. But Art Carney, by that time, was already, famous as, Ed Norton, not Ed Norton, the actor we have now, but the previous Ed Norton of The Honeymooners. And he was very well known as a comic actor, but also a serious actor. And he, in fact, had starred in a Playhouse 90 that Rod had written a few years previously called The Velvet Alley, that was about a TV writer who has to ditch a smaller agent for a larger one and wonders if he's selling out his scruples because the other agent started his career.
He also did Call Me Back, right?
Yes, he did another live television show called Call Me Back that Elaine saw, and I have not. But it was a one person tour de force.
Yeah, of somebody who was just fighting to stay alive. So
yeah.
Just emotionally fighting to stay alive.
Yeah.
So it's a really moving piece.
Right, and it's probably on YouTube now if one goes looking for it. So there we are. So let's see. Next on my screen is Scott. If you want to take your turn, Scott, go for it. There.
Hey, how's it going, Mark?
Good.
How are you guys?
We're great.
It's great. It's great to be back here. I haven't been on in a while just because Thursdays were not working for me.
Yeah.
So, but now I've got some free time, so it's awesome.
Cool.
So happy holidays. Nice to see you guys.
Thank you. You too.
So I've been working on some stuff. I have a Christmas limited series that seems to be in the works right now. We just
Wow.
had a UK director sign on for it.
Great.
And he's very excited about it. So there's that going on, and then I finished a short. But our director was actually stricken with COVID, so it's kind of a slow. It's now, it's still getting worked on, but it should be ready to show pretty quick.
Great. Cool.
And have another pilot I've been shopping, but still I haven't gotten any traction with it. I'm still trying to. It's been a couple of years now. I still haven't gotten any traction, but I know it's great. It'll get out there. So I'm working on that, and just keep writing and keep working on different things, and that's really me.
Oh, cool. Great. So
not a lot more to tell.
Is there anything you need?
Pardon me?
Oh, is there anything you need?
Well, I mean, what I would, something I would need. I mean, let's see. I mean, I have a trailer that I put together, and I would love to get it fixed up on some ADR, but I wouldn't know who to go to or who would be able to help me with that. But I have to round up the actors to do it too. So that would be definitely something.
Yeah,
we
well,
have a lot of sound people, an awful lot of sound people connected to the table, and even I don't know.
there's Earl and there's Dave.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
so if you put it out on the
David
table,
Bartlett. Yeah.
and said you wanted to help with ADR, there's a lot of people with equipment.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't want to volunteer them, but I just know.
Because the footage is okay. It's just that the sound is terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but if you put that out on the table email, I'm sure you'll get a lot of response.
And some people who are really good, a lot of people with the sound. Yeah.
Great. Terrific. So
excellent.
Okay, great.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Okay, you bet. 3 cheers. Yay.
All right.
So Adam, is there, by the way, the image of you, Adam, of the dark, creepy looking Adam, and then the Santa Claus Adam, it really is an illustration of naughty and nice, you know, so, exactly.
Well, at least I got a little bit of light on me so you can see my face
now. Yeah, it's good. Another Mr. Sci-Fi
We've
question? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. We're going to go to Kevin Scott 76.
Hi, Kevin.
Who asks, have you guys ever seen a movie out of order? My dad had us enter the movie theater for Star Wars in 1977 when the attack on the Death Star started.
Oh, great. Well,
so have you ever watched a movie in out of sequence?
Well, you know, when I the entire time, oh, there you go. The entire time I was growing up, you couldn't record movies. They were they didn't have VCRs back then, so you watched TV when it was on. And so it was very common. It was the usual thing to never see entire movies. For one thing, they cut a lot of time out of them for commercials, but also you'd turn something on and it would be like the middle of it or the last few minutes of it. You were constantly watching movies out of order. There are many movies where I've seen the beginning about 5 times, but never seen the rest of them. And so it's so that was a very, very common experience in my childhood of seeing the ending of movies, and sometimes you'd even see part of it and not know what it was, and you'd look for years trying to find what the hell movie that had been, and that was another great challenge. But yes, that was a very common occurrence back in the day. So Dave, I guess you're next on my screen if you want to spread wisdom all around.
Oh, sure. And other fertilizers.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everybody's well. I'm vertical and breathing. And hopefully, and to whom it may concern, have a lovely Christmas in a couple of days. I'll just patiently wait for it to be over, as always. However, if you want to go on YouTube, you can find my song that I co-wrote and that the lovely Heather Henderson sings, called "I Can't Wait for Christmas to Be Over." And let's see, there's that, and we're working on trying to get the first 2 hours of Space Command to you. For those of you who don't know what Space Command is. There's nobody who doesn't know what Space Command is. Well, we're trying to get this to you ASAP, but for the moment, we're putting together a little holiday treat, something for your stocking. And I'm just sending some files to David Bartlett so we can do the audio work on that, and we'll get that out to you very shortly. Other than that, just looking forward to better things, hopefully in 22. Isn't that funny how every year you say, next year's got to be better?
Yes.
Next year's got to be better. One of these years has to be better.
Yes. Well, well, next year in Jerusalem, so, so anything else, Dave? Anything you need?
No, I guess not. I've got a brand new video card here. Well,
wow.
Not brand new, but new to me.
Wow.
I'm gonna swap that out and see if I can get back to working with 2 monitors.
Great.
For the moment, working with one has been like the old days. It works fine. But we're just going to move forward, and hopefully next year we'll have even newer computer stuff as the new stuff becomes available.
Yes,
So,
well, absolutely. We're eager for that for you, and
it'll speed things up.
yeah.
Anyway, I hope everything has gone well with you folks this year. I hope everybody's fine. We are fine so far, and stay healthy. And we'll see you one more time before the new year. But for now, ho ho and merry merry, and talk to you soon.
Yay! Thank you, Dave. So, Adam, is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question?
Yes, we have a question from our very own Galinda.
Hello, Galinda. Yes,
who's here with us.
Yes,
she wants to. This is a very interesting question. There have been quite a few sci-fi instances of mannequins being used in sci-fi stories.
Yes.
And I've become curious, do you have any idea who started it?
As far as I know, the first version of that I know of, because there were ventriloquist dolls coming alive and things going all the way to back to the movie Dead of Night in the 40s. But the first example I know about mannequins is a great story by John Collier, a British writer, called Evening Primrose. And that's about a poet who decides to live secretly in a department store because he doesn't want to be he sort of wants to hide from the outside world and from life. And he discovers there's a secret society in the department stores that no one knows about. And if you violate their rules or try to escape, they will turn you into a mannequin. And that's what happens. And Stephen Sondheim actually did a musical of it on television in 1967, starring Anthony Perkins. And you can find that on YouTube in its entirety. But this was clearly an influence on Rod Serling when he wrote the After Hours for Twilight Zone, which, of course, is the great mannequins coming to life story with the wonderful Anne Francis. So really, really terrific episode. So let's see. So Carol Field, I guess you're next on the screen.
I laid in bed this morning and I said, I really would like to see some reindeer. That's nice. Just go to Ventura Boulevard. I'm sure you'll see some reindeer. All right. So I went to my Zoom ballet class. My teacher was teaching from her parents' house up in the Berkeley Hills up north.
Wow.
She stops class and she goes, oh, everybody, I have to show you what's in my backyard. She takes the phone to the backyard and there are reindeer.
Wow.
Deer jumping through. So
wow.
I got my fix.
That's great. Oh, that's great. Congratulations. That's great.
That's funny. I don't know. And reindeer are their species of deer, actually.
Yes.
So I don't know. They might have been reindeer.
Wow.
But I have to tell my friends this tonight. It was very cute. Also,
great.
Someone in class said American Ballet Theater has stopped the Nutcracker for the whole season because of COVID.
Wow.
And this is a first. It's a first. So it's, it's just, it's kind of sad.
Wow.
So there is a table member who's shooting a movie for $100,000 and has asked me to sing in it. No, not yet. That's not true. He asked me to audition. Would you like to hear what I auditioned with?
What?
Sure.
Oi fin picture, then the fire, unus tubis haze, der belente kleine Kinderlach. De male face, der belente kleine Kinderlach, de male face. You didn't know I could sing in Yiddish.
That's great. That's great. You can, you can.
If it happens, I mean, whatever, we'll see. It's deferred payment for actors, but it's $100,000 movie.
Wow.
But it was so much fun to sing in Yiddish.
That's fun.
When I was a kid, we had that on a 78.
Wow. Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful song that was written in 1880, and it's about the rabbis telling the children to love learning. For those of you who don't know,
that's great.
So it was so much fun to do that. Let's see. I had a little list, but that always goes out the window. I'm open for table reads, of course, if you need. Someone's typing up my little film right now. It's looking good.
Great.
It's scary. I was a little afraid to write it. It's a horror film.
So
if you're afraid to write it, it's probably a good thing, right?
Yes.
And I'm Christmas Carol, and I'm offering all of you a piece. All we need is a peaceful Christmas. We don't need thousands of people around us and huge gifts.
No.
We need a peaceful Christmas.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say that I don't want huge gifts. Huge gifts are great. I mean, the people
I'll get you something.
but
Thank you for coming into my inner sanctuary and listening to my audition. I'll let you know if I get it.
Great. Good
Yeah,
luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yay.
Good luck. Yay. 3 cheers. Great. So is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question, Adam?
So you said it was a horror movie?
Ooh, spooky. Spooky.
Anyway, yes, we have another Mr. Sci-Fi question from, well, first a shout out to James T. Kirk, who's watching.
Great.
And our question is from Jay Leitka, who asks, have you ever read a book, Looking Backwards by Edward Bellamy?
Elaine has. I've read some of it, but not all of it. It's an early sort of utopian novel. I don't know. What do you want to say anything about it?
No, it was. I found
she read it in her childhood.
I read it when I was very young. You know,
Yes.
and I found it. It's a short book, but I found it interesting, especially for its day. You know?
It was really interesting. Back when Elaine was growing up, they had a version of Kindle where instead of being on a pad, they actually printed each page on paper and then bound them together, and you would read them. And those were really a very different experience. You didn't need a battery or to plug it into a wall to charge it. You know, one thing no one ever talks about.
Of that.
Yeah, yes.
I think they called them books.
Yes,
something like that.
Yes, they did. And so Elaine enjoyed looking backwards.
Well, my parents were lefty, and so I had all kinds of
Dostoevsky and Tolstoy, and they had literature,
and looking backward, and all the socialist stuff, and all the stuff about anti-nuclear, books, and just all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So when my aunt gave me a nurse book, and I didn't know what to say because I started to read it and I thought, this isn't literature.
Yeah, it was like YA
I didn't know
crap.
what to say.
Elaine just said "patee," and that was it. So okay, great. So next on the screen is Earl Smith, Earl F. Smith.
Hello,
so
Earl.
Go for it, Earl.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Earl F. Smith, composer, sound editor, sound designer.
Cool.
Faith and I, we had our first paid gig last Friday.
Wow. Really? Wow.
Piano violin duel, and we played at one of this lady used to teach her son at this music school I worked at. Her parents were having their 55th wedding anniversary, and they were having a little party at their house, and asked us to come play their special song they had at their wedding and a couple others. So we played for 8 minutes and got $200.
Wow.
Faith was like, she got $75 out of that, and she was like, wow, that was so easy. I said, usually is. And I was like, you want to do more like this? She was like, yeah, I want to make more money. I said, I could fire the cello player and hire you, and we can play at these weddings I've been playing at. She was like, yeah. So
that's great. Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Other than that, I've been working hard. And I also have been working on some music that I'm going to use for my application at UC Davis.
Oh, is that coming up?
I decided I will apply this year after my track coach that coached me in college screamed at me for not saying that I was gonna wait another year to apply. But so I've been working on that, and hopefully I'll be able to finish that by January 5th. Mark, I'm gonna look to you for that letter recommendation.
Sure.
You said you're willing to do.
Sure. Just follow up with me. You bet.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So that's about it. That's about it. After I finish that, then I have another, 2 films that I'll be working on. Try to finish those up quickly.
Cool.
Everything's great.
Okay, well, 3 cheers. Yay, Earl. Excellent. So, Adam, is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question?
Yes, we have another question from Kevin Scott 76. Who says, The Expanse alludes to space having no sound for parts of the episodes, but they do have some sound. Is there any show that actually portrays space as it is?
That's an interesting question. I'd have to go back and look because for instance, Battlestar Galactica, I don't remember. I just don't remember. And, you know, the tricky part is, I mean, 2001 A Space Odyssey is, of course, the greatest example of not having sound in space. It's really terrific, and it used it to great effect. The Expanse tries to be as scientifically accurate as possible, but the problem is that when you have explosions and space battles, they really are much less dramatic if you can't hear them, because we're so used to seeing battles with sound, and you know, it's so it's really tricky, because the moment you do a battle without sound, the executive at the network is going to say, why aren't we hearing anything here? And you know, so J.J. Abrams in his first Star Trek movie, he played with that, where on the bridge of the Enterprise you have sound, and then there's a hole that sucks people out, or it was somewhere in the Enterprise, and as we follow them out into space, as they're being sucked out, it goes to silence, which was cool. But you know, see, the reality is that we're shooting in an oxygen nitrogen atmosphere. We're shooting everything at 1G. So unless you go out into space, you're having to fake everything. And various artists have the money or the inclination to make it as realistic as they possibly can. But you're always going to be challenged by that. That's why Tom Cruise apparently is shooting a movie in the International Space Station and so forth. But you know, there you go. So, so Adam, why don't we give you your turn?
Sure, I can go.
Great. Go
Hi,
for
everyone. Adam Sartain. I'm an actor, voice actor, and an associate producer on Space Command.
Yay! 3 cheers.
And also, I am a Santa actor.
And a very good-looking Santa actor. That's so great.
I always get told I'm the best Santa. So
there you go. There you go. Though you don't want to hear that on dates particularly.
No. Hey, although, you know, if that's their thing,
if it works,
we'll go with it.
Yeah, exactly. Ride the horse they give you. So yeah, exactly.
Go.
Yeah.
But my season's over. I did have one request for a virtual visit, but I had to tell them, sorry, I don't have the setup for it. I offered to do a phone call, but they're like, they wanted to see Santa.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh well. But, I did quite a lot more in-person visits this year than virtual visits.
Wow. Cool.
Definitely. So I may not. I even tried advertising my virtual visits, and it just didn't. I only got a few, and most of them were repeat business from last year.
Wow.
It is what it is.
Yes.
But I still did all right.
Are you talking about here in Sacramento?
Well, I've done some live events here in Sacramento and down in LA as well.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then other than that,
excuse me.
A lot of Space Command work. We're trying to ship out as many things as we can.
Great.
A lot of stuff to do still, so we're working hard.
Yes. So, so is there anything you need, Adam? Anything that would be of help to you?
Well, I'm still. Speaking, I should have mentioned. I still have been working on my podcast.
Great.
Which is not dead. It's just on hiatus. We're going to return the first Monday in January with I have 3 new episodes ready to go. Well, I need to edit them, but they'll be ready to go in January. And I'm just gearing up for always looking for more people to interview. If you're at all have anything to do with the animation industry, I'd love to interview you.
Wow.
Or if you know someone who's in the animation industry.
Cool.
And they don't have to be a voice actor or a writer. They could be a janitor at Nickelodeon Studios for all I care, as long as they work in animation at some point.
Cool. That's great. How fun. So, well, great.
So, I don't think I need anything in particular.
Someone you might want to interview, I may have mentioned this before, I don't recall, is a guy named Charles Solomon. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't think you mentioned him.
Charles Solomon is one of the leading animation, he he's a journalist and a nonfiction writer. He writes about animation. Big expert on Japanese animation as well as American. Interesting guy. He's the film critic for KPCC as regards animation stuff, movies, and so his name is Charles Solomon. I think it's Charles J. Solomon, but I'm sure you can find him very easily, and I think he'd be a very interesting interview to do. He's been around for decades, and so I would suggest reaching out to him.
Okay.
Yeah, and he'll know a ton of people as well, so he can definitely direct you to others.
Great.
Yeah, cool. So anything else, Adam? Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, yay, Adam Sartain, ladies and gentlemen. So is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question?
Yes, our next question is from Gregory Krug.
Hi, Greg.
Who says, would you consider the Santa Claus story as sci-fi and or fantasy?
Well, it's an interesting question. Not science fiction, certainly. It could either be fantasy or reality, depending on the height and age of the person you ask. So we just watched Miracle on 34th Street, which of course really confronts that issue head on, whether or not Santa Claus exists. It's, I mean, basically, fantasy is any story where magic or magical powers or anything like that really kind of rule the roost without a technological explanation for it. So Santa definitely is not science fiction, but but it's fascinating. I mean, all the little twists and turns of Santa, what he dresses like, how he arrives, how he flies through the air, all that stuff. Very fun. And there's a lot of stuff to play with there if one is of a mind to. So yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Next on my screen is Glenda. If you want to take your turn, go for it.
Hello.
Great.
Good. The mic is working.
Good.
It has been, oh my goodness, I missed y'all so bad last week. And it was just, in the light of what's going on, my roommates are moving, so I'm having to move.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to sell the house in January and buy a new house in a place called Venus, Texas.
Wow.
I thought about going with them. I went and scoped out the town, and within 3 blocks of each other, there were like 3 fundamentalist Baptist churches. And I said, no.
Good.
This is not my small town.
Right.
I love little bitty towns, but I realized that we've been roommates for 10 years now. This feels like a breakup.
Wow.
Huh. So this has become a very, very kind of emotional setup. And then you remember Eugene Levy in Splash? Every time he turned around, what a week I'm having.
Uh-huh.
So, that's how the last two weeks have been. I got a text that my cousin passed away. And then an old friend of mine from New Mexico passed away of an embolism. So I don't know. That's just out of nowhere. And then the day after the roommates moved up, got out and went up to Venus. So I'm by myself with the rest of the pets. The guinea pig decided that it was his time to check out.
Oh, God.
So I'm like this week. So turning my focus onto good things. Yes. I've been watching people reacting to different science fiction stuff and fictional stuff and movies and stuff so that I can, see what human beings today, how they're responding to the older things and how they like that, what they like. So what I incorporate in my stories, for that. And let's see, just I've got like 3 different offers of places to live, for rooms to rent.
That's great.
I'm going to spend some time with my family in January and February.
Great.
And so I'm really not in any kind of bad way. It's just emotionally weird. It's just like, wait, you're not being broken up with, but I feel like I've been broken up with.
I understand.
A friend of mine said, so we're having a discussion about something and we had agreed on it. He goes, well, see, you're not just crazy. He goes, well, not that you're not crazy, but you're not alone. So, but
cool.
A reminder, I hit the DSM-5 in far too many points. I know I'm that. I know I am. And I'm okay with that because it's, hey, I've got this notion that somehow we can save the world and we can live in a positive, happy Star Trek universe or, Rod Serling's moral universe. I actually still believe in that after everything that's going on.
Well, one thing that helps me in my life is I realized that I can't necessarily change the world in caps, but I can do what I can in my own life for those around me, you know.
Exactly.
And so if I'm just taking a stand for compassion, active compassion, then there's a ripple effect. And so one doesn't have to think of it as, you know, because you'll very quickly get overwhelmed if you try to solve all the problems of the world. It's impossible. But you can do some good and a fair amount of it, particularly over time if you're consistent over decades. And so that's, you know, that's why Elaine and I sort of do the things we do. So, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why this is such a nurturing space for me here.
Yes.
Because I'm among people who believe, you know, no, I can't save all of those starfish laying on the beach.
No.
But I can save this one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And of course the corollary to that is the guy looks at that one starfish and says, ah, fuck it, and throws it back on the beach. You know. So, you know, there's that too. You know, if you want to.
There's always that guy that's
Yeah.
trying to undo the
Yeah.
because they don't consider it a valuable thing.
Well,
but that starfish did.
Well, a friend of mine told me a sort of darkly funny story yesterday. It's he and his girlfriend found a butterfly trapped in a spider web, and so they very, very laboriously managed to free it and take it inside the house, and their dog ate it. And so and so I said that he should get a bumper sticker printed up that says "Don't fuck with the food chain," you know, because basically they saved it from one predator only to feed it to another one, you know. So.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
yeah, and that poor spider was just doing his job.
Yeah.
And ended up being hungry, you know. So I mean, there's this whole, you know, but you got to be careful.
Yes.
Where you interfere in the universe.
Mark,
Yeah.
do you have any other holiday stories?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. But I will reserve them for another time. So, anything else you need, Galinda?
No, not at the moment.
Okay.
I think if I were local, I might be hollering for people to help me move in January. But I've got folks local that I can holler at here.
Great.
But,
Great.
You know, that's the focus right now, is just getting everything ready to get the boxes in the truck. And
yeah.
The worst part about it is my family lives in a place called Marble Falls,
Mhm.
and the straightest, the most direct route here is through the hill country. And I am too heights phobic to drive it.
Wow.
I have had solid panic attacks in between there and here driving that road.
Wow.
And finally just decided I couldn't do it. You get one guy behind you that's not phobic and he's in a hurry.
Right.
And, you know, I got to check into the psych ward for a week because the panic attack was too bad. That hadn't quite happened yet.
Yes.
But, you know, it borders on that. My heights phobia has gotten worse. And I recently, via video games, discovered I'm also thalassophobic. I have a solid fear of the ocean.
Wow. Wow.
A very, very. It's like this. I was playing this one game, and your spaceship crash lands in the ocean on some planet, and you got to go swim around and pick up stuff and do stuff. And I'm okay with it. I'm nervous with it.
Yeah.
Like I'm in high places in video games. It makes me nervous, but I'm okay. And then I see this weird little tentacle eye pop out of the corner of my eye and look at me.
Yes.
And I had my character, instead of just turning it off, I turned the character around and swimming, yelling, while my roommate sits there and laughs at me going, why don't you just turn it off?
Yeah, exactly. The challenges of the modern age. So, exactly. Well,
that's now I know it's a phobia.
Yes.
It's not just, you know, I'm not just afraid of the ocean. It's solid phobia because I couldn't rationalize, just turn the thing off.
Right. That's funny.
Well, screaming the whole time.
Well, good to see you. 3 cheers. Yay. Excellent. So, Adam
everybody have a great and blessed holiday.
Thank you.
You yourselves and be safe and do all the things.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks. You too. So, Adam, is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question?
Yes. But talking about making a difference over time, I forgot to mention while I was doing one of my Santa visits up here in Sacramento, this this 7-year-old kid comes up and I do my spiel and whatnot, and then the mother comes up and shows me her phone, and on her phone is a photo of me with that same 7-year-old kid as a baby.
Wow.
6 years ago.
Wow. That's wow. That's impressive. I think that
she goes, this is you with 6 years ago with him.
Wow. Well, at least she knows what she gets when she goes to you as Santa, you know. So that's a repeat customer. That's a good thing. So
exactly.
great.
Our next question is from Alex Smith, who's watching us from Victoria, Australia.
Wow.
And Alex wants to know if you read the 6-book series of Thomas Covenant by Stephen Donaldson.
I haven't gotten around to that yet. Part of the problem is that when you have these big, thick books and there's a series of them, it eats into your day. I'm just finishing, or I'm actually just in the middle of the 9th Expanse book, the 9th and final Expanse novel, and I just posted a video about how the TV show is ending as the novels are ending, but there are two completely different points in the chronology of the story, because the series ends at, I think, the ending of book 6, and the novels end at the end of book 9, after a jump of several decades with the main characters. So but yeah, it's, you see, again, when I was growing up, most writers were not writing book series. They were writing standalone books. So if you read Have Space It Will Travel, that was the story, and you were done. I mean, Frank Herbert wrote several, 6 Dune novels, and Asimov had written the 3 Foundation novels, and then he revisited that when he was older. But for the most part, if you read a science fiction novel, it was a one-off, Man in the High Castle, etc. So that made reading easier. And of course, science fiction has always been a genre that has thrived in both short stories and novellas and novelettes. And that's unusual. Mainstream literature no longer really does that. A science fiction writer can really make a reputation for him or herself or themselves with short stories, and that's very difficult to do in any other genre right now. So there you go. So let's see. So David Bartlett, you're next on my screen. So why don't you go for it?
Okay. Hi, everyone. So I'm David Bartlett. I'm a filmmaker, a teacher, and a human rights activist, and a producer on Space Command.
Yay!
Space Command received many set pieces this week.
Yes.
And I was, responsible for picking them up and dropping them off and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I helped.
Yes.
Adam, yes, he did. And he gave moral support at a key moment.
Yes.
That only he and I know.
Yes.
But anyway.
There you go.
So we are getting ready. Let me see. My own career. Oh, yeah. I have a career somewhere. So that career would include making my first film when I was 10, making theater and whatnot in a high school, going to the, let me see. I was a manager of movie theaters and a projectionist. And I didn't go to college. I went to college for 3 months, a term and a half, and I took all the filmmaking classes. There were 4. 2 of them were junior, senior level classes. I just blew through them, thought this was a piece of cake, and I flunked them all. I don't know what they were trying to teach me to this day, but I said, well, college isn't really for me. And I was a projectionist in the local theater there that allowed me to do my homework while I was working and see free films. So I stayed doing that, and I became a technician. I installed Dolby units. I had a company car, which was cool, and toolbox, and it was like the thing, it was awesome. And my boss was a great guy. His name was Scott Hicks, and Scott Hicks later moved to Seattle and became the chief engineer for Paul Allen, who was Bill Gates' partner and one of the richest men in the world. He bought the Guild Theater in downtown Seattle, which was a Cinerama theater. Cinerama is we have 3 different cameras running 3 different pieces of film. They were, regular film was 4 perforations. This is 6 perforations. It was bigger. So the whole thing would be projected back with 3 separate projectors onto a gigantic screen with a little bit of blurry out of focus in between. But you get over that, and it's like the biggest possible projection you could ever have. There are now currently 3 Cinerama cinemas in the U.S. One of them is Cinerama Dome, which is currently closed. One of them is somewhere in Kansas, and the other one is in Seattle. Bought it and restored it from the ground up, and my old boss, Scott Hicks, did all the work. So he had to find they only had 2 projectors there for some reason. He had to find another one. They're very specific and rare. He found it in Peru, of places.
Wow.
So he wrote a fax to Paul, and he said, I need to, buy this projector. What's my budget limit? And he had this fax return framed on his wall. And Paul Allen said, if it's over $1 million, let me know. That's what it was like to work for Paul Allen. Anyway, he became the projectionist engineer up there, the top person. My oldest friend, Brian, Whitish was a manager up there too, worked with him as well. And Brian even ran the projection booth, the private room in Bill Gates' house several times.
Wow.
In Seattle. So the old relations of that. I was working in New World Pictures with James Cameron as a production designer. He was a production designer. I was a set carpenter. I was. There were 2 films being shot at the same time, kind of jumping sets back and forth. The other one was a film called Android. And Android had. Wait a second. I'm sorry. It was a film called Android, but there was another film called that Alan Holtzman directed. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was a science fiction set just like the one we were using. We just redressed it a little bit to make it a different film, but it had these big view screens on there, and behind was a projector that would project the film onto the screen. And Roger was very clever. He took the print from his last film, Battle Beyond the Stars, and played loops on this projector on the screen to make it look like spaceships were coming and attacking with laser blasts, and the actors would see this loop and they would react to it like this, and it would come around again, and they would react again, and 2 or 3 takes out of it, and that was how they shot that film. So the projector stripped a gear one day. So I was like, I knew how to fix things, so I pulled the gear out, and I told my friend Scott Hicks, who shipped it to me FedEx overnight from Seattle, and I fixed the projector. So the producer and the head of the studio at the time, Marianne Fisher, was so happy. She pulled me off of that and put me on the set. And I got a $50 bonus, and I was the rear screen projectionist, and the visual effects supervisors were Bob and Denny Skotek, who later did, huge films with Jim Cameron and won Oscars. And I got my first screen credit because I'd worked with Scott Hicks, and I knew how to fix a projector.
Wow, cool. That's great.
Anyway, that's my one filmmaking story for my career for today.
Cool.
So I worked on the big budget sound design films for a long time. I worked on Pulp Fiction and Speed and Total Recall and some other films like that. And I started working in my own independent films and with other friends and whatnot. And now I have 67 Film Festival awards, I think.
Great.
Primetime Emmy nomination and a Daytime Emmy nomination as a producer.
Wow.
So
congratulations.
That's how that is. And here I am on Space Command.
Yay.
There's coming around the corner here a time that I will need people to help with sets. I keep saying this every week, and no one calls me. I think it's because it's the same core group here, which is awesome.
Yes.
We need to put the word out beyond that. I need a carpenter, and I also need people to paint and do other kinds of things like that. So the set pieces we got in need some repair and reconstruction slightly, and we just have to get ready for some shooting that's going to be happening in January and February.
Great.
So, if you want to let me know if you're interested, my email is davefilms@hotmail.com, DAVEFILMS @hotmail.com. I will put it in the chat also. This is for the Mr. Sci-Fi folks. And that's kind of the Space Command current. We are definitely getting a great deal of shipping done with the final of the physical perks of 7 campaigns over 10 years. And it's very exciting, but Adam is currently involved with putting the cover of a autographed script cover onto 78 screenplays.
Yeah.
And how many color Star Treks are we sending out, Adam?
86.
Wow.
86 Star Trek scrapbooks.
In 2 volumes.
Wow. That's great.
Something like 70 or 80 pages. We got back about a dozen cases of printing. And he's just filling those now and sending them out for Christmas. And it's going really well.
Great. Cool.
Anyway, so we've also got the table email. I do the table emails. If you want to be on the table email and you're not already, I think everyone on here is right now, but this is also open to the Mr. Sci-Fi people. So if you want to, you can again email me, come up with a name that is your first and last name. Numbers and symbols are fine, but it has to be at least that with something that's other than Yahoo. Send that to me, and I will give you an invitation for the table email. If you're having trouble with the table email now, or if I haven't put you on there yet, you can send me an email about that too. So I'll be taking care of all that kind of stuff this weekend and into next week. And that is kind of it, I guess.
Yay! 3 cheers. Thank you, David. Adam, is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question?
Yes, our next question is another one from Alex Smith.
Great.
Wants to know, are there any new...
Adam, sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot. I've been asked many times the question, what does a producer do?
Oh, yeah.
And today I'll give you an example of what a producer does. We rented that truck for the things that we moved from U-Haul, right?
Yeah.
So we call it 6:45 this morning. I wanted to ask you about a truck. I said, okay, I am not U-Haul. You go, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Hangs up. I get up at 7. I don't want to get up at 7 because another call happens. Probably over the next 2 hours, 20 calls to rent trucks from me or to get a trailer hitch for their pickup from me.
How weird.
And I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
They thought they were calling U-Haul. And they all called from the number on the San Gabriel U-Haul website. Because all the U-Hauls have the big trunk number, but they also have their own individual local number, right?
Wow.
So I couldn't call them because the call came back to me. Yes, tried to help me out, my assistant, to fix this up, to call U-Haul to say what's going on here, and she called me. Which she thought was very funny.
Yeah.
So we finally got some customer service person on the phone, and they said that someone had taken the U-Haul last night and forwarded the call to another number for answering questions, and it was mine. It took almost all day to get this done. I finally had to drive in the rain to the U-Haul in San Gabriel Parkway to get this changed.
Wow.
But they had already done it. So while I was out there, I went to the studio and I took pictures of some of the set pieces since I was there.
Great.
And that's a little surprise for Mark and Elaine.
Cool.
Because the last thing I wanted to do was the eve of Christmas Eve to drive to Pico Rivera in a rainstorm.
Yeah, but see, this is
the time to be here at the table.
But this is where you
also what a producer does.
There you go. But this is a lost opportunity, David, because you should have taken deposits from all those people calling you. It's like, oh yeah, we got plenty of trucks, plenty of rigs. Yeah, absolutely. You know, be sure to. Yeah, you should say be sure to make the
card reader. It would have
yes.
It all, you know.
Yeah, or just tell them to make the checks out to cash. You know, that would work fine. So, but that's definitely.
That's
wow,
a story.
That's a story of the modern age, definitely. So, Adam, is there a Mr. Sci-Fi question?
Yes, we have another Alex Smith question, who wants to know: are there any new Star Trek fan productions coming?
Well, this is tricky because Paramount put its foot down and set up a lot of limitations and things that have made it much more difficult to make Star Trek fan films, but those are getting somewhat relaxed as time goes on. If you've never seen Star Trek Continues, I recommend that. They did 11 episodes. There's Star Trek New Voyages, where I directed and co-wrote, and Elaine and I executive produced the George Takei episode for Star Trek New Voyages, which is also known as Star Trek Phase 2. There's a variety of other Star Trek fan films of varying quality. The problem usually is that the acting usually is not great, and the writing kind of is shaky. But again, on Star Trek New Voyages and Star Trek Continues, they had writers who had written for Star Trek. They had Dorothy Fontana and myself and Michael Reeves and many of the Star Trek novelists, Jack Trevino and so forth. And so that it was of a very, very high quality in general. And so I can recommend those. They're on YouTube. You can hunt them down, and they're very fun to watch. Very, very fun. So great. So now it's Judith.
Hey,
Judith Smiley.
Judith
Judith, it's your
Smiley.
turn. Go for it, Judith.
Hey.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, hi.
Hi guys. Nice to see everybody. Things have just been rolling along, doing my exercises. You know, I hate to put emphasis on physical stuff, but what can you do when I'm cleaning up the house? I want to remind everybody about next Friday, New Year's Eve party. I figure since nobody got sick at Comic-Con, I could have a party. It's been such a crappy year. I wanted to send it out looking nice and feeling nice and cooking nice and like that with people I care about. So
Great.
there you go.
Mazel tov.
And I'm just cleaning up the house for the party and getting everything organized so that I can start off the new year. And just Joe Oakman has said he'll help me with my animation demo.
Oh, cool. That's great.
Adam is going to help me hook up. Thank you, Bubby. Thank you. He's going to help me hook up my microphone. And you're also coming to the party, are you not? That's about it. I just finishing off the year. It's been a crappy year, but onward and upward.
Yes.
No point in looking back and making myself crazy.
Yes. Well, but it's lovely to hear.
Since I am crazy anyway to begin with, I don't want to add any more to it. That's about it, guys. Okay. I'm just very grateful that you're all here, that you're all in my corner, and that you've had my back for these many months of trial and error. So thank you all.
You're very welcome.
There will be a post on Facebook next week.
Okay, great. 3 cheers.
Oh,
God.
I am getting the puppies tomorrow.
Oh, really? Oh, yes. Our dogs. Our dogs. Yes.
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 Yeah.
That's great.
I'm going to start to look around for a dog of my own. I'd like to get one in February.
Yes.
If I could,
Yeah. It's
I really
great. Well, that sounds great. There's a lot of interesting.
I really will. Listen, I don't have a guy. I might as well have a puppy. Why not? I have something for her to hang on to.
Yes, that sounds great.
There you go.
Okay, 3 cheers,
anyway,
Judith.
Have a happy Christmas to everybody, and a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful year.
Yay! 3 cheers. Thank you, Judith. Thank you. So, is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question, Adam?
Yes, our next question is from Mark Lungo.
Okay, hello, Mark. And Judith, don't forget to mute your mic. Great,
okay.
Great, terrific. And
generally speaking, Judith is generally speaking.
Go ahead, Adam.
Mark says, do you have any plans to do a holiday-themed story for Space Command? And how do these futuristic characters celebrate, assuming they do?
It's interesting. I don't have specific plans to do a holiday-themed episode. That doesn't mean there wouldn't be holidays in the show. It just depends on if it fits the story that we're doing. Or
a holiday special where we celebrate Life Day. And
yes.
Oh, wait, no.
Oh, God. Yeah, but you never know. I mean, it's just as the urge strikes us. And, but the main thing is we want to get the first season of Space Command shot this upcoming year, all of the episodes. We've actually shot 5 hours and are currently shooting the 6th hour of Space Command, so not including the prequel. And so that's not a bad record. And when it gets to be our turn, we'll talk more about that. So, but it's been a very exciting time. So I think it's your turn, Elaine. Elaine is here. Yay. Look, there she is. There she is. Go for it, Elaine.
Yeah, well, just gearing up to shoot some more of Space Command.
Yay.
And preparing a shot list because the last time we had an extensive shoot, when I was editing with Dave, I was doing my paper edit for him to do the real edit, and I said, Mark, we didn't have a close-up here. Where's the close-up? That was the main thing about the scene. Oh, we didn't make a shot list, and there was no close-up. Then we said, Dave, can you push in on this master? And he said, well, it won't look that good. So now
you've learned.
Now we learned that we better make a shot list if we want that close-up.
Swell.
Because you think you'll remember and you don't.
Yeah.
So we gathered a whole bunch of stuff. Thank you, David. And we're starting to try to put it together with maximum effectiveness and minimum amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of good actors, a lot of great people, so we're both looking forward. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So, yay. 3 cheers, Elaine. Yay. Wonderful, Elaine. Well, so another Mr. Sci-Fi question, Adam.
Yeah, I think I can scrounge up one last Mr.
Great.
Sci-Fi question.
Great.
We've got El Johnarino.
Yes. Hello.
Who says, Mary Grimble, of course. But could you tell us a bit about how you're doing editing? Do you spend time with your editor in suite? Do you get sent video files, et cetera, et cetera?
Prior to the pandemic, Dave would come over and we would just hook up our computer here and we'd edit on our big screen TV, and it was very pleasant and very fun. Because of the pandemic, we had to work more long distance, and now Dave sends us files or scenes or whatever, and we work on them in that way primarily. So basically, files are being shuttled between Dave and David Bartlett and David Rakelin, our composer, and so on and so forth. All of our team. Thank God for Zoom, and thank God for the internet and the ability to send larger files than we used to be able to. Because I remember, back in the 5-inch floppy days, you couldn't even have a full script on a floppy disk. I mean, it was ridiculous. And so that's what we're doing now. But I really enjoy.
Although at the point that we're at with episode 1 and 2,
yes,
is way beyond the initial editing.
Yes.
So if there was something specific, working on a specific scene or revision, then we might get together to work on that.
Yes.
But generally, we can work apart. Now, when it comes to the next 2 episodes, which would be 3 and 4,
right?
If I got my numbers right,
yes,
then maybe we'll be doing some more in-person editing.
Yes, and also we like to have Dave on set when we're shooting because he can warn us that when we're about to hit a speed bump or whatever. So he's a very convivial fellow and wonderful to have around in general. So great, yay! 3 cheers. So now I guess it's me, wonderful me. Great to have everyone here. Happy holidays, everyone. Whether you're celebrating, Hanukkah or Christmas or Kwanzaa or some strange mystic, Cthulhu holiday that you've come up with.
Or Festivus.
Yes, yes. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, Adam, what you should do is, given the 2 looks that you're presenting tonight, you might want to do a film where it's Santa Claus versus Krampus. Krampus is sort of the anti-Santa, and you would play both roles, and it would basically be that Krampus is the evil, the cousin or evil brother of Santa. And that would be very, very fun. And I've never seen that as a movie idea. So,
and I could throw Belschnickel in there and make it a triple,
Well, there you go.
That'll be for the sequel.
Well, there you go. There you go. But anyway, so there you have it. So in terms of what we're doing, it's really busy, and very, very good busy. Geez, where to start? As David Bartlett mentioned, we're finishing the first 2 hours of Space Command 101 and 102. We're doing the sound mix, the music, full orchestra, 1,800 visual effect shots. David Bartlett is overseeing all of that post stuff. Dave Edison is working, at full steam. Adam Sartain, Mark Gushwitz is working on the extras, the DVD extras. There's a lot of stuff. Every single day there's stuff coming to fruition. And then at the same time, as I mentioned before, we shot the 3rd hour of Space Command, and the 4th hour we've already started shooting, because these are structured in 2-hour stories that form a larger arc over the first season. So to that end, we're in first weekend in February, we're shooting the hospital scene in 104, essentially 103/104. And so I've been acquiring bits and pieces to utilize for that sequence. So I bought a cryogenic pod from Passengers and a whole bunch of stuff from Ender's Game the other day. That's what David was picking up, as well as stuff from Falling Skies. And we have spaceship consoles from the Thunderbirds movie, the live action one, and from
a working defibrillator might come in handy.
Yes, you never know. And but we just have a lot of very cool stuff to augment our sets. And because these movies were made for many millions of dollars, they put a ton of money into everything they made and built. And I saw our costume designer Mike Philpott yesterday, because he just repaired a spacesuit from Red Planet, the Val Kilmer movie that we can utilize. And because in the movie they cut it open at the end because he has a heart attack and Carrie-Anne Moss has to save him. God knows why she bothers, but considering the movie and considering Val Kilmer. But this is the one that he wore that was cut open in the front. So I had Mike repair it so we can actually utilize it in Space Command. So but my gosh, it's very exciting. And been dealing with the guys at the prop store, both here and in London. And we're working on, as Elaine said, shot lists, storyboards. The 2nd issue of the Space Command comics completed. I just have to pull the trigger on it. The 3rd issue is largely completed as well. We're shipping out all these perks, and we're going to be doing the Blu-rays and DVDs very shortly, and it just keeps going. Our plan is to shoot all of season 1 of Space Command in the upcoming year. We've got all the scripts written, more or less, and it's going to be a very exciting time. We've been talking to agents and managers, and also with Netflix and Amazon and so forth. So I think 2021 has been a great year for us. We've had an amazing time. Our fans and our supporters have been very, very wonderful. They've kept us going, kept the studio going, kept all our people on salary, which was terrific. I have no complaints. It's the Green Lighting Yourself is coming out, and we're going to be shooting Sweet Haven, the Rockney O'Bannon series with Veronica Cartwright and Bob Picardo and Gates McFadden and on and on. It's an amazing cast, and Mike Harney, and it's just going to be an amazing year. So
speaking of fans and supporters,
yes.
We do have a last minute super chat.
Wow.
That I wanted to throw in there from Franklin Brewer.
Hello, Franklin.
Who wants to know, have you ever worked with the Space Opera Society, and are they still around?
I've never heard of them, so I hope they're still around so I can check them out. It's funny because often I'm so busy making science fiction that I really can't check out all the science fiction things around. One thing that's really bizarre now is this release strategy where they release big science fiction movies and have them on your television at the same time. So we just watched the new Matrix movie today on our TV, and and we watched Dune and so forth. It's like it's a bizarre thing. Movies and TV have really merged into one entertainment creature, and but I enjoyed the Matrix film, the new one. It's not without its flaws, but it's overall I really liked it, and so we'll see. But no, I'll check them out though. Thanks for the tip, Franklin. I appreciate it. So now the ever lovely Mark Gushwitz has joined us, and so go for it.
Sorry I'm late. Been so busy with these Christmas deadlines. It took me like 2 minutes to realize that Mark was talking and we were at the end.
Yeah. It's short but sweet.
But I've been super busy. Today's been like a really hectic day, and that's why I was late. Hopefully, Mark, you got the 7 or 8 links that I sent you a couple days ago.
Thank you.
I'll expect to hear back from you after the holidays, because at this point, I don't expect anything from anybody to talk to the holidays. But yeah, it's been super busy. Been talking to a couple people about getting my website back to normal.
Cool.
Once everything calms down. Still looking like a leper, which is why I'm covering my face. Hopefully that'll be gone next week. Because my last Santa job is tomorrow. Just a lot of work and a lot of work and a lot of work. And I look forward to Christmas Day because I don't work on Christmas Day. I'm Jewish, but I don't work on Christmas Day.
Good.
I think we're going to go see a couple of movies or try to figure something to relax.
Yeah, there's some really good movies. We just watched the Lucy movie, the I Love Lucy movie, and I was surprised because I thought it was going to just totally suck, and I really enjoyed it. It was very surprising, and for any
it's Sorkin, so it should have been good.
It's free. It's free on Prime or Hulu, one of them, but not Hulu, Netflix. But it was the thing that was really cool about it is, when you watch I Love Lucy, Desi's kind of a hothead and Lucy's kind of a scatterbrain, and yet they ran a studio that revolutionized how television was made and led directly to Star Trek. And you wonder, how these two people were able to run a studio, and that movie shows you the people they really were behind the scenes, and that's very instructive and very interesting, and it's just a really good job. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, well, I want to see it. I want to see Nightmare Alley, but unfortunately on Christmas Day I'll be with my wife, so we'll probably end up seeing Spider-Man and Sing 2. But I like the first Thing, so I'm okay with that. I haven't been liking what I call the spider suit movies.
Yes.
Because he's not. If he had not been bitten by the spider, he'd still be the same character. Because the suit does everything.
Yes.
But I know she wants to see it, so hopefully next week I'll be able to get some time to see Nightmare Alley, because I'm a big Guillermo del Toro fan, as you know. It doesn't seem like a movie that he would do.
I can tell you about that. He here's several things about it. First of all, to let everyone know, the original Nightmare Alley, the one with Tyrone Power, is available to watch in its entirety on YouTube for free. So definitely check it out. It's a very good film. I'd never seen it before. But the reason Guillermo did noir is because he met a woman named Kim Morgan, who's a journalist and on the subject of film noir, and they became an item, and they started working together and decided that Nightmare Alley would be a very good film for Guillermo's sensibilities, what with the carnival element. And I liked the film very much. I saw it at a screening with Guillermo there and Kim, and I got to meet her for the first time. And they signed my first edition of Nightmare Alley, the novel. And but it was but that's the reason. It's a change because of who he's collaborating with, and I think
also a change of tone, because I thought that it was going to be a movie about, because there's the freak.
Yes.
The carnival.
Yes.
And I thought it was going to be a movie about that because I had not seen the original either, even though Jim Metropole kept telling me I had to. So I watched the original to prepare to go see the remake, which I haven't seen yet. And as I'm finished watching, I'm like, this doesn't feel like something Guillermo would do. But maybe that'll be good because maybe it's time for him to do something different.
Well, the reason, but also it's very different from the Tyrone Power version. It really is an adaptation of the novel. And Guillermo, I mean, the one thing the original does not have is visual splendor and a huge amount of visual detail. It's not, it's an old film noir, and Guillermo just really, leans in to the visual aspects of the film. So there's a lot of great stuff in it. And also toward the end, and this is not spoiling anything, if you look at it, there's a wide shot of a carnival. And if you look closely, two of the people at the carnival are from Todd Browning's Freaks. And so that's an incredibly cool in reference, Easter egg. And I mentioned that to Kim because 99 out of 100 people, if not more, would not notice that at all. And so it's really interesting. So, but that's the reason for that. So anything else you need, Mark?
No, I just need I need Christmas Day to get here so I can have a day off.
Great, great. Well, 3 cheers, yay! And one thing I wanted to reiterate is for those of you who've been supportive of us and helped us through the years, and specifically this very challenging year, we're very grateful, Elaine and I, and the dogs, and thank you so much to all my friends at the table and all my friends at Mr. Sci-Fi, because it's wonderful not to be alone, quite frankly. And I always say that Elaine is the best part of every day, and she's wonderful to work with and write with and direct with and produce with. But it's nice to also have all of you, and it's a dream come true. I'm, when people ask me how things are going, I always say things are going great. It's wonderful, and for David to help me bring all that stuff, David and Adam, to help me bring all that stuff back to the studio. I mean, again, this was a Halloween attraction where these father and son had acquired all of these items from all these science fiction and horror movies for their horror attraction in their backyard for free for the neighborhood, just like Bob Burns used to do. And then, of course, the pandemic struck, and they weren't able to have it do anything for a couple of years. And finally, they just got sick of having that stuff in their backyard, so they sold it to us for pennies on the dollar, and we now have some incredibly cool stuff just because I happened to find it on eBay initially, and then go to the guy's house with David, and that led to us negotiating a deal that was very, very favorable for us. And it's going to really show, it'll add considerable production value to what we're doing, not just for Space Command, episode 4, but also for the Great Solar War, which is the 2-hour Space Command episode we're doing after that has a lot of spaceships in it, and these sets will come in extremely handy. So that's about it. So anything else for now? I think we've covered a lot of ground, guys. It's great to see everyone. Have a wonderful Christmas, and we'll be here next Thursday, as was mentioned, for Mr. Sci-Fi and for the table. So stay safe, stay well, stay dry, and have a great holiday, guys. 3 cheers. Yay. Excellent. Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. Bye. Take care.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
That's great. Thank you. And bye, my Mr. Sci-Fi friends. Take care. Stay safe.